I was 17, and that night was supposed to be quiet and simple. My mom left for her night shift at the hospital just after 9, wearing the same tired expression she always had before work. She reminded me to lock the door, text her if I needed anything, and try to sleep at a decent hour. I nodded and watched her car disappear down the street. My brother wasn't home either. He had gone to spend the weekend with his girlfriend, which meant I had the entire place to myself. I had been looking forward to that. I liked the idea of being alone without anyone watching what I did. I locked the front door and checked the windows, and I turned on the TV, grabbed snacks, and decided it would be a movie night. But I kept the kitchen light on because I didn't like seeing it completely dark when I walked past it. Eventually, I went to my bedroom with my laptop and phone. I closed the door and locked it without thinking too much about it. I sat on my bed chatting with friends, laughing quietly so the neighbors wouldn't hear. Around midnight, my friends started logging off one by one. I stayed awake scrolling through videos and rewatching scenes from a movie I barely paid attention to. My phone battery was low, and I told myself I would sleep soon, but I didn't rush it. Before anything happened, there was a moment where my focus drifted away from the screen. I didn't hear a sound, but my body went still anyway. I stared at my bedroom door without knowing why, watching the thin line of light from the kitchen under it. That light changed. Slowly, something blocked it. A shadow passed from one side of the door to the other, steady and deliberate. I sat up straight, my heart speeding up instantly. My phone slipped from my hand and landed on the bed. The shadow stopped. Whoever it was stood directly outside my door. I stayed frozen, barely breathing, listening for footsteps or movement, but there was nothing. Then my mom's voice came from the hallway right behind the door. She told me to open up and say hello. Her voice sounded calm, relaxed, like she had just come home from the grocery store instead of work. My body reacted before my mind did. My hands started shaking so badly I had to press them into the mattress to steady them. My mom was not supposed to be home, and she never came back once her shift started. She always texted first, always. "Open the door, darling. Are you okay? You're not answering me." The tone didn't change, she just repeated the same request like she was waiting patiently for me to obey. I grabbed my phone and unlocked it, my thumb hovering over the emergency call screen. My chest felt tight and I had to force myself to breathe slowly. I stayed silent, hoping she would move away, hoping I would hear footsteps heading down the hallway. Instead, she knocked. Once, then again. Each knock was spaced out and controlled, not angry and not worried. That scared me more than yelling would have. My mom never knocked like that. Before the next thing happened, there was silence. Total silence. No knocking, no breathing, no movement. I waited, counting seconds in my head, hoping to hear her walk away. I leaned forward and whispered her name, barely making a sound. There was no response. I whispered it again, louder this time, my voice shaking. Her voice came back suddenly, louder and sharper. She asked what was wrong with me and why I was acting weird. The calm tone was gone, replaced by irritation that felt forced and unnatural. Then she started screaming. She shouted my name over and over, slamming her hand against the door hard enough to rattle the frame. The sound made me flinch and curl in on myself, covering my ears as tears filled my eyes. Just as suddenly, it stopped. The screaming cut off, leaving the house completely silent again. I sat there shaking, my thoughts racing and crashing into each other. Every instinct told me not to open the door, but another part of me needed to see what was there. I needed proof that this was real. Before I could change my mind, I unlocked the door and pulled it open. The hallway was completely dark. The kitchen light was gone, and the darkness felt heavy and wrong, filling the space in a way that didn't make sense. My eyes couldn't adjust, and it felt like the darkness was pressing toward me. Before I could step back, the darkness moved faster. It flooded the hallway and poured into my room, swallowing the light behind me. My room disappeared, and I was surrounded by nothing. I tried to move, but my legs barely responded. My breathing became loud and uneven, and panic took over completely. I forced myself forward, one step at a time, my hands shaking in front of me. Something screamed directly into my face. The sound was violent and overwhelming, and pain exploded across my skin. I felt claws tear into my arms, my neck, my face. I screamed and swung wildly, hitting nothing. I ran blindly, crashing into furniture and walls, tripping and falling until I slammed into my bedroom door. I forced it shut and locked it, flipping the light on with shaking hands. The room was normal again, but I wasn't. Blood ran down my arms and deep scratches burned across my skin. My shirt was torn and my hands shook so badly I could barely hold my phone. Before calling anyone, I listened. The hallway light was back on. Everything looked normal through the crack under the door, like nothing had happened at all. I called my mom, crying so hard I could barely speak. She answered from work, confused and scared, telling me she had never left the hospital and never spoken to me. She came home as fast as she could, and when she arrived, she found me sitting on my bed shaking and bleeding. She hugged me tightly and didn't let go. We checked the house together. Every door was locked, every window was closed. There was no sign of anyone else being there. The scratches healed, but the fear didn't. My mom stopped taking night shifts after that. She believed something happened, even if she didn't understand it. I don't stay alone anymore. Lights stay on all night, and my bedroom door stays open.